To the family, friends, and relatives, we, as members of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, are here to pay a tribute of affection and honor to our departed sister, Veronica Flannery, who has passed through the shadows into the everlasting peace. At this time, we would pause in thoughtful review of the principles we uphold. The faith we follow teaches us to live in bonds of charity with all mankind. To do justice to one another raises the standards of human excellence everywhere. Brotherly love is the torch that sheds light over the pathway of life. Fidelity inspires us to be true to one another and to treasure the memory of the departed. In fraternal recognition of the part borne by our sister Veronica in all our work and bowing to the decree of an all-wise God, I ask you to listen in reverence to the chime of 11, with us, the hour of remembrance.
It is the hour of recollection.
You have heard the tolling of 11 strokes. This is to remind us that with elks, the hour of 11 has a tender significance. Wherever elks roam, whatever their lot in life may be, when this hour falls upon the dial of night, the great heart of elkdom swells and throbs. It is the golden hour of recollection, the roll call of those who wander, the mystic homecoming for those who will come no more. Living or dead, elks are never forgotten, never forsaken. Morning and noon may pass them by, the light of day sink heedlessly in the west. But ere the midnight hour comes, the chimes of remembrance will be ringing forth their friendly message to our absent members. The chaplain will lead us in prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, we come to thee and humbly ask thy blessing upon this service. May the passes of our sister inspire new devotion to the fraternal duties entrusted into our keeping. May those who mourn be comforted with thy tender love and mercy. From the darkness of this hour, lead us into the sunshine of thy presence. As thou art with us through life, so bring us at last where we are united with the bonds of eternal peace. Amen.
Amen. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Neil Ledgerwood to give the eulogy.
In God's garden up above, there is a rose we dearly love. She stands with petals open wide, watered by the tears we cried. Her fragrance fills our life each day, and in her heart she'll always stay. Veronica Jean Green Flannery. Veronica was born April 2nd, 1959, in Springfield, Oregon. She was the daughter of Ronald Freeman Green and Linda Gale Roberts. She grew up mostly in Milwaukee and Portland, Oregon. She graduated from Madison High School. There, she was a member of the Madison Dollies dance team. She loved to dance. She and Vern, her husband, met in 1980 at a square dance in Portland. They were married in 1981 in Dayville, Oregon. She worked for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oregon for 33 years. When she retired, she and Vern moved to John Day and later to Mount Vernon, Oregon. She loved to travel, especially on cruises. She loved foreign countries. She had been to Canada, Mexico, Ireland, and the Caribbean. She had dreams of visiting many more places, but time ran out for her. She was a member of the John Day Elks Lodge number 1824 for 6 wonderful years, of which she loved and was very proud of being an officer. She always worried about others more than herself. She was always asking Vern if he was okay, or her mother, always asking, "Are you okay, Mama?" She cared more for others than herself. Right after she lost her leg, they were traveling to Bend for a doctor's appointment. On Ochico Pass, her mother got sick, so Vern pulled over to the side of the road. When Linda got out, her feet slipped on the gravel and she fell. Veronica leaped from the truck to help her mother, forgetting she had no leg, and down in the ditch she went. Don't you think Vern didn't have fun with this mess? Although she loved her family and stepfamily very much, she also loved 2 very special girls, Miss Ellie and Miss Willow, and her cat Corky. Is there anybody that wants to say a few words about Veronica?
I would. My friend Veronica. We had many things in common, being from Portland, and when Vern and Veronica arrived here, I was tending bar, and it was so comforting to see somebody from Portland here come in, and Veronica was so friendly, and it was just an immediate bonding. And as we became friends, I'm sorry. The importance of dancing and the theater were so important to her, and to pass that on to children. Ellie was super special to her, and she always spoke so highly of Willow, and the importance of just allowing them to perform. And she wanted to carry that through. She never missed one of Ellie's performances, whether it was in person or by video. And Veronica was just a very special person, and I'm going to miss my friend.
Anybody else?
I do.
I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming. Veronica would have loved to have seen so many familiar faces in one place at one time. My sister was forever encouraging to her friends and family with her strength and ability to bounce back from whatever life threw at her. And life threw a lot at her. As young girls, we were joined at the hip, but life drew us apart during our teen years. And if I had it to do all over again, I would never have let all those years go by. We had our own set of friends and our own set of goals for our lives, but that still didn't change the fact that we were sisters. I am grateful that as adults, we became close again. There was nothing that I wouldn't do for her and that she wouldn't do for me. I'm sorry I don't have a lot of memories to share of our lives as sisters, but I would like to take this moment to talk to her. Veronica, I love you the same as if you were still here with me, laughing during the good times and crying during the bad. I miss not being able to call you any time to talk about anything under the sun. I am so grateful that I had those last few months together to get reconnected. A part of me wishes you were still here with me, but I know your earthly body has been broken for a long time, and now you have a new heavenly body with no more pain and suffering, and that we will be together again in the future.
Anybody else?
Can I speak from here, Neil?
You sure
can
can.
everybody hear me? I want to talk about something happy about Veronica. we were sitting in the LDS library several years ago, and Nancy was huffing around because she couldn't find the books she was looking for. Well, they're sitting with Veronica right here, and they found out that they were related to each other. That was really, really neat. And they were both so happy, and that's kind of what the way I want to remember Veronica. She was a very, very special person.
Thank you.
Vincent wanted to say something. I think Vincent wanted to say something.
Vincent?
Yeah, you know, I think that Veronica was a rich person who, if you got the opportunity to get to know her, she enriched your life. She had an ability to always make you smile and laugh, and she always had some wonderful stories to talk about. And she had an amazing way of laughing at moments that would bring you to tears, you know. And I think that I know that I will go on in my life feeling more rich because of her and her family, the people that I've gotten to know. Her and Vern were a great inspiration for a married couple. Ability to dance even if they couldn't dance together physically. Ability to make each other laugh, ability to comfort each other, and an ability to march on even when things got hard. And I won't forget that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Neil,
Anybody else?
Ellie has something to say.
We'll have Ellie Parker would like to especially honor Veronica.
Yep, that's good. That's fun.
Thank you, Ellie.
What would you like to say? Okay, that comment. Ellie would like for you to know that Veronica was a good friend and that she was always there for her.
Thank you, everyone.
I just have a little short nip I want to add in with what Vincent said, that Veronica didn't get to dance more at our Halloween party here. Of course, she was in the wheelchair and couldn't get around or anything. And Vern went down and had the DJ do Islands in the Stream, which was their marriage music. And then Vern picked her up and held her in the air and danced with her for the last time. I thought that was one of the most awesome sights I've ever seen.
Not the squire. You will call the name of our departed sister.
Valerie Flannery.
Wrong name.
Veronica Flannery. Veronica Flannery.
In vain we call. She has passed into the light which is beyond the shadow of death. The places that have known her shall know her no more. And again we realize that in the midst of life we are in death. That he who watches over all our destinies will again, on the last great day, unite the chain of fraternal love so recently broken. Esteemed leading knight, in summing up the life work of our departed sister, what record shall be made in the name of charity?
I testify to a restricted adherence to the cause of charity.
Esteemed loyal knight, how shall her devotion to justice be measured?
As the just deserves justice, I declare that she was faithful to justice.
Esteemed lecturing knight, representing the principles of brotherly love, what is the testimony from your station?
By the fraternal ties that bound her to us, I pronounce her faithful to brotherly love.
Lodge Squire, what is your tribute to our sister's patriotism?
She who loved her country loves this flag, not yet lived in vain. This flag is first in our hearts as loyal Americans and guards our altar of loyal Elks. May its clustering stars and streaming light guide us through the immortal soul of the departed sister on the journeys through eternity.
As a tribute to her fidelity, I bring the unfading amaranth, encircled by the clinging ivy. These tokens we deposit with her in enduring friendship. The amaranth typifying our belief in the immortality of the soul, and the ivy symbolizing brotherly love. My friends, the incident of death is not more mysterious than the incident of life. We were born to die, and we die that we may live. The philosophy of human existence remains unchanged throughout the past centuries. The birth of an individual does not greatly impress us, but when death invades our ranks, we are appalled. It is not life that causes us to pause, but loss of it. Likewise, a clinging faith in immortality has been our solace and our inspiration since the first flight of time began. Although a natural and inevitable event, the final summons always comes to those we love with a blow that seems to crush our hearts. We think gentle thoughts, we speak tender words, we halt, we wonder, we reason, and with faith, we become reconciled as we realize that loss of life is not the end, but a beginning. In this simple and reverent ceremony, it is not my purpose to deliver a personal eulogy for our sister, who no longer answers when her name is called. Veronica Flannery was an American citizen, responsive to every duty of citizenship and brotherhood. She took her vow before the antlers. She attested to her obligation upon the great book of law. She pledged allegiance to the American flag. True, our sister has journeyed from us, but her dream ship, frail or staunch, has sailed to another shore. The clock of her days has stopped. Upon its dial, the motionless shadows mark 11. To us, the golden hour of recollection. Whatever may have been her accomplishments, we are her treasurers. We shall cherish her good deeds, forget her faults, and inscribe her name upon the tablets of love and memory. As she was true to us, let us be true to her. Speaking for the surviving members of this lodge, I say goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye until the hour of 11 shall regularly return. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thy name shall never be forgotten. May we ever act with charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity. Lodge chaplain, will you dismiss our gathering?
Our Father, who art in heaven, grant unto us thy gracious benediction. Forgive us our trespasses. Protect and defend us against evil. Make us, in truth, thy children, and after the great adventure of all our lives, bring us to the eternal year. Throughout thy redeeming grace and power. Amen.
Amen.
I thank you all for coming today. Following this, there is going to be food available, so please stay around and share memories of Veronica. Enjoy yourself. That's what she would want.
Where's Naked Nuts?